Ever wondered why maintaining a garden seems like a never-ending task? It's a question many of us have asked as we've toiled under the sun, hands deep in the earth, battling weeds and pests. Gardening, while rewarding, can also present a host of challenges. Time, for instance, is a precious commodity that a garden demands in abundance. Then there's the knowledge gap, understanding plant needs, seasonal care, soil health. It's a lot to absorb and apply. And let's not forget the physical effort. Gardening can be a workout, with all the digging, planting, pruning, and hauling. It's no wonder that many of us dream of a garden that's not just a feast for the eyes, but also low on maintenance. A garden that gives more than it takes. But what if we told you that there's a way to have a stunning garden without the strenuous upkeep? Welcome to the world of low-maintenance gardening. Picture this, a garden that is always vibrant, always blooming, but demands far less of your time, effort, and resources. That's the beauty of a low-maintenance garden. It's not about neglecting your green space, but rather about smart gardening. It's about making choices that reduce your workload without compromising on the aesthetic appeal or the joy of gardening. The concept of a low-maintenance garden revolves around efficiency and sustainability. It's about creating a garden that can largely take care of itself, leaving you more time to sit back, relax, and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Imagine having more time to appreciate the hummingbirds flitting about, the butterflies gracing your flowers, and the symphony of colors that change with the seasons, instead of constantly pruning, watering, and weeding. Now the key to a low-maintenance garden lies in the planning and the choice of plants. It's about understanding your garden's environment, its light, its soil, its climate, and then choosing plants that thrive in those conditions. It's about opting for perennials over annuals, native plants over exotic ones, and drought-resistant species over water guzzlers. This approach not only cuts down the maintenance but also contributes to the local ecosystem. Moreover, a low-maintenance garden can also be a resource-efficient garden. By choosing the right plants and implementing smart gardening practices, you can significantly reduce the need for water, fertilizers, and pesticides, thus saving both your pocket and the environment. But remember, a low-maintenance garden does not mean no maintenance. It still requires care and attention, but in a more manageable and less time-consuming way. It's about working with nature, rather than against it, to create a garden that is as self-sustaining as possible. Ready to transform your garden into a low-maintenance haven? Let's delve into the steps. A well-planned garden is the first step towards low maintenance. Remember, each garden is unique with its own set of conditions like soil type, light exposure, and climate. It's vital to understand these aspects as they play a crucial role in shaping your garden. Now let's talk about style. Do you want a formal garden with neatly clipped hedges, or would you prefer a wild garden that embraces nature's chaos? Perhaps a cottage garden filled with colorful perennials is more your speed. Whatever it may be, deciding your garden style will guide your plant selection and placement. Finally, creating a simple layout helps keep maintenance to a minimum. Think about easy access for watering, weeding, and harvesting if you're planting edibles. Consider incorporating paths, and remember, less is often more. A garden crammed with plants might seem appealing, but it can result in more work. Once you've got your plan, it's time to choose your plants. Choosing the right plants can make all the difference. Indeed, the secret to a low-maintenance garden often lies in the selection of its inhabitants. It's much like choosing roommates. You want those who can thrive under the same roof with minimal fuss. Now, instead of a roof, you have soil, sunlight, and rainfall to consider. Let's start with understanding your garden's conditions. Each garden is unique with its own blend of sunlight, soil type, and rainfall. It's important to choose plants that can flourish in these conditions. For instance, if your garden is bathed in sunlight most of the day, sun-loving plants will thrive, while shade-dwelling plants might struggle. Equally, if your garden soil retains water, water-loving plants will feel at home, while drought-tolerant species might find it a bit too damp. Now let's talk about perennial plants. These are the plants that keep giving, year after year. They can be a game-changer for those seeking a low-maintenance garden. Perennials, once established, require less care than their annual counterparts. They grow back each year, saving you the effort of replanting. Plus, they often have deep root systems, making them more drought-resistant and less needy when it comes to watering. Native plants are another excellent choice. These are the plants that have adapted to your local climate and soil conditions over countless generations. They're naturally equipped to thrive in your garden, making them a low-maintenance choice. Plus, they're great for supporting local wildlife, adding another dimension of beauty to your garden. And finally, consider drought-tolerant plants. These hardy species are designed to survive with minimal water. They can be a real asset in drier climates or in areas with water restrictions. Plus, many have fascinating adaptations to conserve water, adding interest to your garden. In essence, creating a low-maintenance garden isn't about avoiding work, but rather about working smart. It's about understanding your garden's conditions and choosing plants that can thrive with minimal intervention. Now that you've chosen your plants, it's time to set them up for success. Planting and mulching correctly can save you a lot of trouble down the line. Let's delve into the world of planting and mulching to see how these two simple steps can lead to a flourishing, low-maintenance garden. Planting might seem like a no-brainer, but there's more to it than just digging a hole and dropping in a plant. The first secret to proper planting is preparing the soil. Start by loosening the ground to about twice the width of your plant's root ball. This gives the roots a comfortable space to spread and grow. Remember, a happy root system means a happy plant. Now, place your plant in the hole. Here's a pro tip. Make sure the top of the root ball is level with or slightly above the surrounding soil. This prevents water from collecting at the base of the stem, which can lead to root rot. Once your plant is in place, backfill the hole with soil, pressing it gently around the roots. You want to eliminate air pockets without compacting the soil too much, and voila, you've planted your first low-maintenance plant. But we're not done yet. This is where mulching comes into play. Mulch is like the secret ingredient in a recipe. It makes everything better. It reduces water loss from the soil, suppresses pesky weeds, and as it breaks down, it enriches the soil with nutrients. There are many types of mulch, including organic options like wood chips, straw, or compost, and inorganic options like rocks or rubber. The choice depends on your garden's needs and your personal preference. Apply a 2 to 3 inch layer of mulch around your plants, keeping it a few inches away from the stems to prevent rot. And just like that, you've created a supportive environment for your plants to thrive with minimal intervention. Proper planting and mulching set the stage for a healthy, low-maintenance garden that gives back more than it takes. With your plants well established, let's move on to the final step. Even a low-maintenance garden needs some care. Let's dive into the ongoing tasks that keep your garden thriving. The first task on our list is watering. While many plants in a low-maintenance garden are drought-resistant, they still need a drink from time to time. The key to efficient watering is understanding your plant's needs. Some plants prefer their roots to dry out completely between waterings, while others like a constant level of moisture. Watering in the early morning or late evening can reduce evaporation, ensuring your plants get the most out of every drop. Consider installing a drip irrigation system for a more hands-off approach. Next, we have pruning. Pruning isn't just for aesthetics, it helps to keep plants healthy and productive. Prune your plants during their dormant season to minimize stress. Remember, less is more when it comes to pruning. You're aiming to remove only dead or diseased branches and to shape the plant for better growth. Then there's the ever-present task of dealing with pests. Even the most well-planned garden can face an occasional invasion. The trick is to recognize the signs early. Yellowing leaves, holes in foliage, or a sudden drop in vigor can all be indications of a pest problem. Natural methods like introducing beneficial insects or using homemade sprays can often resolve these issues without resorting to harsh chemicals. Lastly, remember to give your garden a general checkup regularly. Look out for any signs of disease, nutrient deficiencies, or other issues. A quick stroll through your garden once a week can help you spot problems early, making them easier to manage. All these tasks may seem a bit daunting, but remember, the goal of a low-maintenance garden is to reduce work, not eliminate it entirely. By understanding your garden's needs and taking small, consistent steps, you can maintain a beautiful space with minimal effort. And there you have it, your guide to creating a low-maintenance garden. Enjoy the fruits of your labor and the beauty that comes with it. Remember, gardening is not just a task, it's a journey of nurturing and growth. Let's quickly recap the secrets to a low-maintenance garden. We started by understanding the concept of a low-maintenance garden, a space designed for maximum beauty with minimal effort. It's all about smart planning, considering factors like sunlight, soil type, and your personal preferences. Next, we delved into the art of choosing the right plants. Remember, native and perennial plants are your best friends in a low-maintenance garden. They're adapted to local conditions and they return year after year, reducing the need for replanting. Then we explored planting and mulching techniques. Proper planting encourages healthy growth, while mulching helps retain moisture, suppress weeds, and enrich the soil. Finally, we discussed ongoing maintenance. A low-maintenance garden isn't a no-maintenance garden. Regular small tasks like weeding and pruning can prevent larger problems down the road. With these tips, you're now ready to create your own low-maintenance garden. Happy gardening!